However, I was going to talk about the rest of God, so maybe we should just talk about the rest of God. And the thing about it is, every time that you talk about God and His goodness, God shows up. Because it's not about me and my goodness, because this just shows how fallible I really am. And how fallible each and every one of us really is. And you know what? This shows what lots of us look like behind closed doors. It's just, you used to get up here and be like this in front of everybody. But you know, I developed as time went on, and I realised, you know what? I don't really need all the notes. Now I really needed them this morning because I had prepared well. But I didn't need all the notes. What I needed to do was hear what God was saying in the given situation, and then bring that. Because every time I tried to prepare, I love teaching. I actually love teaching. But I know I'm not a teacher. I actually love preaching. I love preaching. But you know what? I know that very often what God wants to do in me is, while we're doing the praise and worship, while we're doing all the other things that we do, that He kind of wants to speak to me and tell me what season or what He wants to do in His Spirit that day. And through His Spirit that day. And then He just wants somebody to be obedient. Not some big orator, not somebody with all this charisma, not somebody that has their makeup perfect or their hair perfect or all the external stuff sitting in order. But sometimes He just wants somebody to stand up, whether it's on a Sunday or whatever it is, and say, do you know what, I believe that the Spirit of God is wanting to do this today. And do you know what, that's probably my part. And that's okay, because I don't have to have the part that everybody else has. I just need to have my part. And you know what, sometimes I'm doing jobs that just to earn a bit of money here, or to look after my children because I think it's all needed and all. But all I'm required to do is my part. And I think that's a lesson that we all need to learn over and over. Tell me, do you learn the lesson and you keep knowing the lesson? You're older than me. You're older than me. Do you learn the lesson, or do you have to keep relearning it?
I have to keep relearning.
And what a bummer that is. We have to keep relearning the same thing over and over again. So to think that we reach a place in God and we stay there without a work is actually foolishness. But like we've talked about for lots of days, about how whenever we enter into that position in God, how we can live out of there, we can. But we need to intentionally do that. And busyness is an enemy to that. Busyness is an enemy to the rest of God. Now, there is stuff that you need to do, but there's stuff that you don't need to do. And it's finding the stuff that you don't need to do that's going to help eliminate the striving and the struggling. The rest of God is not I really wanted to talk about it today, and it's funny, isn't it? Sometimes whenever you go to speak about something, there's all this stuff that gets thrown in your direction that wants to try to annihilate what it is that you were going to say. And since I don't have any notes, I don't really know what way I was going to say it. But you know, the rest of God comes out of a trust in God. And we can only trust someone when we have a relationship with them. You can't trust someone that you don't know. I can't really trust Trevor because Robin tells me I can trust him. I can't really trust June because Ashton tells me that I can trust her. It's only whenever I develop a relationship with June that I know that I can trust her. It's only as I develop a relationship with Trevor that I know that I can trust him. And then whenever I develop that relationship and I realise that what he says or what she says is the same as who they are, and that they're going to back that up even to their detriment, then I can trust them. You see, sometimes you want to enter into the rest of God, but not really know Him that way. You know, in Hebrews, we all know this. We all know this scripture. In Hebrews chapter 3. I'm not sure what that is important. I at least did brought my Bible. I did brought my Bible. I did get washed. The thing is, I was flapping around and I got sat and prepared, and then I was running around and I was like, oh, where's my makeup bag? Oh, I need to grab those clothes. Oh, let's go. I have to go out for Amy's birthday today because it was Laura's birthday yesterday. And it's Amy's birthday tomorrow, it's her 18th. However, of course, we have David or 21st. Of course, we have David Hathaway coming. So Amy was totally stressed that we had somebody coming and that we were going to celebrate her birthday. So I said, well, what we'll do is we'll go to more on Thursday night for your birthday. But it's not my birthday. Oh. Well, we can stay till 12 o'clock if you want, Amy, and then I'll be your birthday, love. Then we'll take her out tomorrow, but then we have to be back for the meeting tomorrow night, which is grand. But so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about, oh, I need to go from here to work, but I need to accomplish something in between times. Don't you know? You know, us ladies have things in our heads that men don't have in their heads.
That's not true.
It's true. Pardon?
That's not true.
No, it is, because we're. I know, but we're different.
Maybe it's different.
Well, because we're being male and female, and women are the homemakers. So because a woman is a homemaker, then it stresses her out more whenever everything's not in order than it does the man.
Well, I do it as a man's job as well.
I agree with you. It's a man's job in my house too. But there's primary roles, and the primary roles are that the man is meant to be your provider and your protector, and the woman's meant to be the homemaker. So, I mean, it would look a wee bit random if I was Roy's protector, wouldn't it? It's okay, Roy, get the dishes done, I'm protecting you while you're doing it. That would be a wee bit sad. Just saying. And Roy does help with the dishes and just saying there's certain parts. So there's things that us ladies have in our hands all the time, and sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I have that many open doors going on in my head that, I mean, I said something to Roy last night, and then the next minute, it's like, I don't know, I can be at the other side of the world in 2 minutes. But it's because this comment has opened this door, which actually took you all the way down the corridor to here. You went down 5 flights of stairs, you went up on a lift, you went to the penthouse, you flew across to the other side of the world, and you were able to have a conversation about something that was going on over there, because there's so many doors that are open all of the time. And I would be a very analytical person. So because I'm a very analytical person, I process and I process and I process and I process, and it's exhausting. And I actually need to tell myself to stop processing. Because, so I don't know where we got to from that, but anyway, we're entering the rest of God. Okay, verse 3, or chapter 3. So here we have the situation where the children of Israel would not enter into the place of rest that God had for them. And verse 15, then while it is still called today, if you would hear his voice, and when you hear it, do not harden your hearts as in rebellion in the desert, when the people provoked and irritated and embittered God against them. For who were they who heard and yet were rebellious and provoked him? Was it not not all those who came out of Egypt led by Moses, and with whom was he irritated and provoked and grieved for 40 years? Was it not with those who sinned, whose dismembered bodies were strewn and left in the desert? And to whom did he swear that they should not enter his rest, but to those who disobeyed, who had not listened to his word, and who refused to be complained or persuaded? So we see that they were not able to enter into his rest because of their unwillingness to adhere to, rest in, and rely on God. Unbelief had shut them out. Therefore, while the promise of entering his rest still holds and is offered today, let us be afraid to distrust it, lest any of you should think he has come too late and has come short of reaching it. For indeed we have had the glad tidings, the gospel of God, proclaimed to us just as truly as they, the Israelites of old, did whenever the good news of deliverance from bondage came to them. But the message they heard did not benefit them, because it was not mixed with faith, with that leaning of the entire personality on God, in absolute trust and confidence in his power, his wisdom and his goodness by those who heard it. Neither were they united in faith with the ones, Joshua and Caleb, who heard and did believe. For we who have believed, adhered to and trusted and relied on God, do enter that rest in accordance with his declaration, that those who do not believe shall not enter, whenever he said, as I swore in my wrath, they shall not enter my rest. And this he said, although his works have been completed and prepared, and waiting for all who would believe from the foundation of the world. For in a certain place he has said this about the seventh day, and God rested on the seventh day from all of his works. And they fortified their part in it, for in this passage he said, they shall not enter my rest, seeing then that the promise remains over from past times, for some to enter that rest, and that those who formerly were given the good news about it and the opportunity failed to appropriate it, and did not enter because of disobedience. And on it talks about how those people who had the ability, the rest that it talks about for the children of Israel was whenever they were going to come into the cross over the Jordan, they were going to come into the promised land, and they refused to just trust and rely on God to enter into that position. They reasoned why this wouldn't happen. They talked about how they couldn't. They talked about how they wouldn't and how they shouldn't. And I think that very often today, you see, it says that whenever they heard the word, that they didn't believe it. They didn't believe what they heard and embrace it. You see, true belief and true faith in what you hear is stepping out on it. That's what truly belief in God is. You see, very often we talk about different things like, how we need to develop our faith. Okay, well, we do need to develop our faith, and it tells us that if we don't have faith in a certain area, in Romans 10:17 it tells us faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So if we need to develop faith in an area, it's really important then that we get the word of God in that area. And the reason that it's important to get the word of God in that area is because we need to know what God's desires and wills for any given situation are. You see, it's a really bad job if you know that game Blind Man's Buff. If we're just like the world and putting like this blindfold on, and then somebody's saying, it's God's will to come over here, it's God's will to come over, oh no, God's not going to do that for you, oh what, you're going to bump into that, oh there's disaster up ahead, oh calamity is your outcome, oh this is going to happen or that's going to happen, oh the enemy's too big for you, oh no this sickness is too strong for you, this lack is going to be too hard for you. And if all we're doing is walking around with this blindfold on and trying to find something solid to put our hand against, then we are constantly walking around in darkness. But God doesn't desire for us to walk around darkness. God desires for us to walk in the light. And the reason that he gave us the will of God in this book was so that we could become acquainted with him. So that we could truly develop relationship with him. And through that relationship we would know him. If Haley came to me and said, you know, Pastor Roy was really, he was angry and he was fighting with the boy down the street. He rolled up his cuffs and he says, come on then, let me have it. And I would be like, yeah, I don't think so, because I know him. And he would have talked that situation down. He wouldn't have gone into a fight. Or if she says, do you know what? Or Dennis comes and he says, I was in Korean. Was Roy up in Korean for the day? I seen him, he was blocked out of his skull. Then I would be able to say, even if Roy had not been in my company, that was not him, because that is not who he is. And I know it's not who he is because I am acquainted with him, because I have a relationship on a level that I know him. Now, I know people make mistakes, and I know people do silly things, and I know stuff goes wrong, but I know him. The same way God wants us to know him.
Yes.
You see, the children of Israel, bar a few, didn't go into that promised land or that position of rest. And yet they knew God. They knew the provision of God. Because it tells us that whenever they come out of Egypt, that there wasn't one sick or feeble among them. The sandals that they had on their feet didn't wear out. Imagine wearing the same pair of shoes for 40 years. Seriously. How boring. But you know what? At the same time, that was provision. You know those sayings, give a girl a pair of shoes and she'll conquer the world. But you know, the shoes never wore out. I have shoes that just wear out in no length of time. But they knew God the provider. They knew a God who caused bread to come and lie on the desert every morning, that caused quail to just drop to the ground and die for them so that they could eat it. They knew the provision. But you know, I don't think they knew the provider. They knew the one who would do everything for them. But yet, they didn't really know him. They knew the one who protected them, because he protected them with a cloud that covered to keep the sun off them all day long. And then they knew the one who actually put a pillar of fire to guide them. So they knew the one who was the guide, but they didn't actually know him, because if they had knew him, then even whenever God spoke to Moses and said to Moses, come on now, we can go over the Jordan and we can take the land. Then whenever Joshua and Caleb came back and they said, do you know what, we're well able to take the land. We're well able to go over. Let's just go at once, because God has said. And because God has said it, then God is going to do it. But rather than believing what God said, they believed that other 10 spies that come back that said, oh, we're like grasshoppers in their sight. Oh, they're so big. Oh, they're so large. But look at the fruit that's over there. And God's saying, yes, go for the fruit. Go for the fruit. And they're saying, but it's too hard. God, it's too hard. They're too big. They're too strong. And we're too little. And God was saying to them, I have a position of rest for you. I want to take you into that place where you don't need to be toiling the way you've been toiling. You don't need to have the unbelief that you've had. You don't need to have all of the that you've had. Just come to me. But because they knew all the external stuff about God, and really knew God through Moses, then they didn't actually walk into that place where God would have for them. And you know what? I think it's really easy today. I think it's really easy for us today with all of the CDs. You know, this should be an age where we have so much of God. That there is like that atomic, isn't that correct? Fallout of, you know, like in Hiroshima. People are still living in the after effects of that today. And how many years ago was that? 70 years ago? 72 years ago, and there are still places that are uninhabitable because of the amount of radiation. There are still people that are being affected because of the radioactive fallout from that. And yet there were people that I came into contact with yesterday that aren't living in any different environment because I went into the room. In an age where we have teaching from all around the world, where we have TV that brings the God channel into our house, where we have the internet, where we can connect with believers and watch stuff and hear stuff and all around the world. We should be in the most... I didn't turn my phone off. Just thinking after her to beep there, I have to, otherwise you're going to have me beep in the side. Or will I ring me back saying, what did you want? Did you not know you went to be in class? We should actually be in the most beneficial of positions. And yet I think still we know God through other people. I think sometimes we have forgotten to mix faith with the word that we hear. And therefore we don't come into that position of rest. You see, the reason why we find God's will in a situation is so that we can then abide in that, knowing. It's like the rest of God equips us with knowing that He is willing and all-powerful to go into a situation on our behalf, to deal with the situation in the best way for us, because He loves us, because nothing He has... I don't know if any of you have been like this. Has God ever kind of required something of you and you felt like, no, but God, I know I want to keep doing that. No, but God, I love them and I want to study with their friends. No, God, but I don't want to give up doing that. But yet, at the other side of doing what God tells us to do, He is going to give us something so much bigger than what we ever dreamed. But isn't it really awful whenever you've got that new uni to set down, to pick up? Sometimes I haven't wanted to set down, even though I've known that God has something bigger on the other side. You see, I'm a fixer. Like I told you before, I'm a fixer. But God doesn't need me to fix. God needs me to find Him, to enter into Him, and to allow Him to flow out of me. The Creator of the universe desires to work in our behalf. And sometimes we just don't allow Him to. Because we have a better idea. You know what? It's stupid. But that is what humanity is like. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of the body of Christ are like. Our purpose for developing our faith walk is not just so that we can be big faith giants, but so that we can know the one in whom we believe. It's so that the entire Lynne of all of my personality, all of who I am, so that every atom of my being, every cell of my body, every thought and intent of my heart resounds the heartbeat of God. You know that like, so that when I'm pressed in any given situation, love spills from me. Because I am not my own, I have been bought with a price. And therefore I can dwell in him, knowing that he undertakes for me, that he leads me, that he guides me, that he protects me, that he provides for me, that I don't need to fix it. I don't need to establish my own ability. All I need to do is put my ability into his ability, knowing that as he encompasses me about, that his ability can go into any given situation. And as I really begin to know who I am, as I really begin to know who he is in me, then that thing that Roy has talked about that seat that I can sit on, then whenever I know God's will, whenever I know that I am in him and he is in me and we are one together, and that I am not striving and struggling to be perfect, because it's not about my perfection, it's about his perfection. It's not about my ability, but it's about his ability. It's not about my strength, it's about his strength. It's not about my joy, it's about his joy. It's not about my anything, it's all about his everything. And as I position myself in that, then as I declare from that situation, because I know who I am in him, I am no longer striving and struggling and trying to fix it, but I've heard God speak to me, and I know what he said to me was the truth and was the only truth, and that I can do nothing in and of myself to change the situation. As I declare from that position what God said about it, then every demon in hell, every demon on the earth will pay attention, because I will not be like a son of Sceva who doesn't truly know my God, but I'll be like Paul, and I'll be like Peter, and I'll be like those prophets and those apostles of old, that when I declare a thing, it was established and it was decreed because I spoke from God. And that's very different than walking up and down saying, I'm healed by the stripes of Jesus, I'm healed by the stripes of Jesus, I am healed by the stripes of Jesus. Oh God, I'm healed by the stripes of Jesus, I'm healed by the stripes of Jesus. I hope this cancer goes. I'm healed by the stripes of Jesus, I'm healed by the stripes of Jesus. It's not about that, it's position ourselves that God, do you know what? I'm in you, I'm like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Should you never show up for me, God, I'm still going to trust you, and I'm still going to believe in you far above anything that this world has to offer, because you're more precious to me and you're more valuable to me than rubies and gold and any other situation. And God, as I rest in you today, and I know that your desire is to bring healing to my body, Father, but I can't do it myself. I can't strive for perfection. I can't strive for everything. But what I can do, Lord, is I can enter into your rest and your love, because I trust you today, Lord. You see, sometimes we've mixed up a wee bit what faith is. So the doctor says you've got cancer. Well, he's not going to tell that to anybody, but the doctor says you've got cancer. So what you do is, what's waiting for you? If you get that report, what is waiting for you? Anxiety? Fear? Debilitating worry? Not being able to eat, not being able to sleep, stress all of the time, and all you can see is pictures of yourself in the box, dying too young, this happening, that happening, the other thing happening. All of those things are very natural responses. And everything in you can go into panic mode. Now, very often what people have done in the past is they've just said, oh, thank you, doctor, but by Jesus Christ, I'm healed. And then they've thought, but now I'm going to go home, I'm going to enter the rest of God. So what they do is they go home and sit down. And take on the persona of the person who's saying, I'm not saying that, please, listen, I've had people that I love go on to be with the Lord too early. So please don't hear this in a wrong way. But foolishness would be to say, I don't have cancer, I don't have cancer, I don't have cancer. That's foolishness. It's foolishness to ignore the situation. But what is not foolish is to say, God, everything in me is vexed. There are voices that are shouting so loud to me that I cannot find a position of peace in this. But I know that you know. And today I know that you're my healer. Now God, what I am going to do, you told me in your word that if I need faith in a certain area, that's going to come by hearing your word. So I'm going to begin to build myself up in your word today, so that I can find out what your desire and your will is in this situation for me today. And I'm going to come into you a little bit deeper. And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I choose today to fear no evil. Because your rod and your staff, they're guiding me today, Lord. Help me today to know what to do. Help me today to know how to defy this situation in my life. Because I know that you're not the sickness giver. And I know that you are the healer. And today I rest in your ability. Sometimes people have just... It's very easy to just say something without having any faith behind what you say. It's very easy to just struggle in a situation. You see, even in that situation, we're not meant to be striving for our perfection. You see, it's not about confessing enough of the word every day so that God will hear your word and change the situation for you. The reason that we take the word and we confess the word is so that we build into ourselves a confidence in God and a trust in our relationship with Him, so that whenever the other stuff is happening on the outside of us, that we recognise, well, those aren't God situations, but I'm building into myself what God is and who God is. And as I do that, my trust in Him is rising. And it's like the water level rises up, rises up, rises up. And the more that we confess the word of God, the more fully persuaded we become. And like Abraham, then we start to see what God sees, and we start to know what God knows. And then we actually can taste a change in the atmosphere. We can smell the healing on its way to us. We can actually touch and we can see ourselves completely whole in a way that we have not been able to see ourselves completely whole. Because we need to become fully persuaded in God that that which we see is subject to what the Word of God says. You see, whenever Margaret was speaking yesterday morning, about Hannah. It really ministered to me actually about how Hannah had, whenever Peninnah had been taunting her and saying, you know, you can't have any children, and look what Elkanah's done for me, and he really, like, he's been the best husband to me, and I'm the most fruitful wife, and I'm sure she flaunted herself in all types of different ways. And, you know, that was a continuous provocation to Hannah. And you know, that provocation provoked Hannah into a position where she wasn't able to eat, where she wasn't able to sleep, where she took that provocation to God. But you see, sometimes I think that we can think that, okay, the doctor says I'm sick, well, I'm exercising my faith, I'm just going to work. But just going to work is not exercising your faith. Just going to work is just going to work. Exercising your faith is establishing what God says about the situation. That's what it is. And then going to work because you see things differently than you had before. It's like Hannah, she did, you know, so she hadn't been able to eat, but after she went and spent time with God, and Eli had seen her mouth moving, and he had said, you know, why are you drunk, and all of this sort of stuff. But after that, she left that place, and she said, okay, now it's time for me to eat. But it wasn't because, that wasn't like, okay, I'm going to force myself to eat now because I'm still so vexed about the situation and everything's still going on. It wasn't. Somewhere in that process, she entered a position of rest where she knew what God believed and what God said and what God was going to do in the situation was so much greater than all of the vexation that she had had to that time, all the persecution she had had, all of the trauma and the anguish and all of the emotion that she had had. Somewhere along the line, she entered into a different realm and a different dimension of, I know my God. And a connection took place that allowed her to move from that place to a position of, okay, now let's eat. Too many people are living in fantasy. They're living in, they don't have the building blocks for the faith aspect and the trust aspect so that we can have our entire leaning and personality and reliance and moving and being in God.
Yeah.
Even in a day whenever there's so much available. You see, we need to become completely convinced of God's love for us. And God's love for us even whenever we come in for doesn't really look like a wee schoolboy, like does look with that wee bag over his shoulder. That's he look like. It's just me that's married to him.
When do you get home? When do you get home?
Wait till I get home. Don't know what time that'll be up today, Dennis. But you know, God wants that. He doesn't. God's not into a casual relationship. It's not. Listen, sometimes I've had a casual relationship with God. We all have. Because if we had a more intimate relationship with Him, constantly, we would constantly be moving from faith to faith and from glory to glory. But you know what? I know that sometimes we've stayed in the same position for years. Has anybody had the one thing that has challenged them for years crop up every year? And it's like the same thing. It comes in a different package. Different people are involved. If it's insecurity. Okay, so if it's insecurity, it comes on different levels, and different levels, and different levels. So you've conquered something. And then you come up the mountain a wee bit more, and a wee bit more, and a wee bit more. And then there's somebody else arrives on the scene.
Yeah.
And this other person that arrives on the scene is so beautiful, and so this, and so that, and so the other thing. But one day, the enemy uses that beautiful, glorious, delightful being to do something that wants to cause your whole world to implode one more time. Because there's still a wee part where you still need to keep on building, and keep on building, and keep on building, so that you don't come out of God to allow that insecurity to rise one more time. See, it's nearly like we're like, okay, God, I'm here today. I'm resting in you today. Just you and me, God. Just you and me, God. Everything else is faded around and insignificance around us. Just you and me. Oh, better go get shopping. But I forget to take God with me. Oh, better go and do this, you better go and do that, better go and do the other thing, blah, blah, blah. Like I told you, that you start to get into busy mode, you start to get into rush mode, you start to get into where you don't make enough time and appointment going in, where you don't this, where you don't that, where you don't the other thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, she said that to me, I wanted to feel so terrible, I feel so wounded. It's just you be going, oh, she said that. It's like everything, and that is how human life goes. We do that all of the time. I do that. Does anybody else do that?
No.
Yes.
I don't.
You don't. That's good, Trevor. Trevor. That's all we read of us today. Let's just know where we are. On the way to where we're going. And if we know where we are. You know what? There's no condemnation in God. That's the thing about us. He is not condemning us. He's just wooing us in. And he just wants to say, come on, just live here. Just live here. I have so much in 2017, 2018, 2019 for you, my church. I love you. I just want to spend those intimate times with you. I just want to live in intimacy with you. I want to be your beloved as you're my beloved. I want to have that position in your life. Come on, just let's take this leap of faith and just jump right in there. You see, there's so many places throughout the Bible where it talks about that leaning of their entire personality, will, and I had a list of them. They're through Thessalonians, they're through Colossians. Hold on, maybe looking. Maybe look at the list. Yeah, so even here in Colossians 1 it says, we continually give thanks in verse 3 to God the Father, our Lord Jesus Christ the Messiah, as we are praying for you. For we have heard of your faith in Christ Jesus, the leaning of your entire human personality on him, in absolute trust and confidence in your own ability? No. In his power, wisdom and goodness, and of the love which you've shown for all of the saints. You see, they had a faith and a trust in God. That so much faith and trust in God that all of them lent in that. You see, God wants us to lean on him. He wants us to lean into him. He wants us to rest on him. He wants us to be like, you know, the disciple that rested on Jesus' bosom. He wants us to be like that continually. And then from that position, everything else works. But what we try to do is we work everything else to try to get to that position. But there's no working in that. That's just our trusting. It's just a trusting. It's just a loving. You can't make God love you more. He loves you. He loves you. He loves you. He loves me. He loves me. He loves me. And you see, this is not about what God is willing to do for June and Dennis. It's not about what God is willing to do for Jan. It's about what God is willing and able to do for me. You see, for the children of Israel, they thought it was what God was willing and able to do for Moses. And that they were getting the other parts. But there was one man, you see, whenever Moses would have gone up into the tent of meetings, Joshua chose to go with him. See, everybody else was busy about their everyday life. Everybody was busy just cooking and baking and sewing and tending and child rearing and doing all the things that are very necessary. But there was one person that chose that in the midst of all of that, that he came up higher. That he said, no, if Moses is going to go there, well, I'm going to go too. Because I see something in Moses that I want to have. And because of that, I'm going to keep on going. And I want to see the glory the same way that he's seeing the glory. And I'm going to contend for that the same way as he's contending for that. And it was because of that that he wasn't consumed in the desert, like so many of the rest of them were, with the unbelief, because he knew God. He didn't just know about God, or he didn't just see the provider, the healer, the protector. He knew the I am.
Yes.
And it's the I am that wants to make himself available to us every single day.
Yes.
I am your helpline. I am your great recompense of reward. I am
Yes.
your exceeding great reward in this situation, and I am your strength, I am your shield, I am your everything. But what we try to do is, God, I am your, but it's not what we are to him, it's what he is to us.
Yes.
And it's that in who he is into us that the rest comes. But it doesn't nullify. It's like sometimes we're like, oh, the rest of God, the grace of God, the goodness of God, oh, we don't need to do anything. But that's not what it's about. It's about the rest in the work. The rest in the love, the rest in this. So we do this stuff, but we're doing it in God. And he's doing it in us, and there's no, it's like when everything's in harmony. God and me and him.
Yes.
My emotions are in harmony. My will's in harmony. My everything's even. And it's just like,
Yep.
see, sometimes I think whenever it says, and they cease from work, people think, oh, I don't ever need to do anything ever again. But they cease from the striving. They cease from the struggle. They cease from the toil.
Yes.
You see, what is the difference between Peter being out all night on the boat and throwing the nets this direction, throwing the nets that direction, throwing the nets the other direction, and coming out with no fish? And him, a fisherman, who knew everything about nets, knew everything about fish, knew when to go, when not to go, knew all of that with his own natural ability. But then Jesus said, okay, just launch out, throw your nets on the other side of the boat. He said, but God, or Lord, I have toiled all night. I have worked, and I have worked, and I've strived, and it's been exhausting. And Jesus, he said, but yet at your word, I'm going to cast out the net. So he cast out the one net, he should have cast out that. But all of a sudden, fish came from this sea, that sea, and the other sea, and jumped into that net. Because the toil had stopped. They received what Jesus said, and they acted on what Jesus said. And there was a great haul of fish. You know, in our lives we need to cease from the struggle. Cease from the striving. Just get in there. You know, my favourite. If I were just living it, my favourite scripture, and if I was just living it, there was one actually, let me just tell you the exact scripture before I can remember where it was. It's probably not even the right translation from it. It's really funny how you forget where all the books of the Bible are when they're in the front. But you know what? Never be ashamed to go to the front part. Isaiah 30, verse 15. For thus said the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, in returning to me and resting in me you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust and confidence shall be your strength. But you would not. You said, no, we will speed our own course on horses. Therefore you will speed and flight from your enemies. You said, we will ride upon swift steeds, doing our own way. Therefore they will pursue you. Be swift, so swift that 1,000 of you will flee at the threat of them, at the threat of 5, etc., etc. Therefore, the Lord earnestly waits, expecting, looking and longing to be gracious to you, and therefore he lifts himself up, that he may have mercy on you and show loving kindness to you. For the Lord is a God of justice. You see, God desired in Isaiah 30, verse 15, he desired for them to just wait on him. He desired for them just to come into him. But they said, no, we have a better idea. And it's a laugh because somebody said to me the other day, sometimes I just wish Adam and Eve wouldn't have eaten that fruit nice and well, what somebody else would have. Yeah. Because there's always a choice. There's always a choice to do things man's way or do things God's way. God's way is the easy way. God's way is the light way. And God's way is the way that's going to get a good result. And now for my favourite verse. In Acts 16.
Acts 16.
In verse 28 it says, but Paul shouted. So here they were, that Paul and Silas had been, we'll read from verse 25. But about midnight, as Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns of praise to God, the other prisoners were listening to them, and some night there was a great earthquake, so that the very foundation of the prisons were shaken. And at once all the doors were opened. You see, when Paul and Silas were in there, what could they do? What could they do? Nothing. Except put their trust in God. So they sung and they praised God. And then it says, and at once all the doors were opened and everyone's shackles were fastened. I know that should be everybody's really exciting part. But when the jailer, startled out of his sleep, saw that the prison doors were open, he drew his sword and was on the point of killing himself, because he supposed that the prisoners had escaped. But Paul shouted, do not harm yourself, for we are all here. And then the jailer called for lights and rushed in, trembling and terrified, fell down before Paul and Silas. And he brought them out of the dungeon and said, man, what is necessary for me to do that I may be saved? And they answered, believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, give yourself up to him, take yourself out of your own keeping, and entrust yourself into his keeping, and you will be saved. And this applies to you and your household as well. Today all I need to do is take myself out of my own keeping and put myself into his keeping. And as I do that, I'm going to see God move on my behalf in a way that is going to nearly happen like a movie clip in front of me. Listen, I've seen God move for me. I've seen God open seas for me. But you know what? Then I come out of that place of rest and I get back into a place of toil. It's my determined purpose to enter into that place of rest and make it my habitation, where the God of peace shall rule in my heart as umpire, and in every situation I'm going to know the God by doing. So Father, we thank you for this morning. I thank you for your love, and I thank you for your rest. And I thank you, Father, that that's a position that we can live in. A place where we can move and have our beings out of. knowing, Father, that your plans and purposes for us are always the best. And Father, I thank you for that, because I know, Lord, that in you and through you, we can accomplish many, many wonderful things. But it's going to be so that you get the glory. And Father, the same way that we need some natural rest, Lord, we recognize our need to walk in that position of spiritual rest in you. So today, Father, I thank you that as we talk about it, that Lord, that you come along with that rest and you will send us a little bit closer. We love you, Lord, but it's only because we know that you love us. So we lean into you today and know that your plans for us are better than any we have for ourselves. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.